Okay, welcome everybody to the Live, Sail, Die Olympic coverage here, brought to you by PredictWind and B&G. Here we are. My name's Cameron Dunn. I'm sitting here with Andrew Brown in this lovely winter's day here in Auckland, 8 degrees and fog, about as far from the Enoshima conditions as possible, Brownie.
Yes, it is. Lucky enough, we're at Boy Cafe here at West Haven. We are not sweating, we are not hot, and we're not in ice baths.
No, it's far from it, but hey, looking into this, looking ahead to the Olympic competition starting tomorrow, pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, it is. It's looking at the forecasts and how everyone's been going. It's going to be really exciting. It has been COVID, so we don't really know what's going to happen with the last 2 years being no real regattas, so it's going to be a really exciting watch.
Yeah, so what we're doing here is we're really going to focus in on the New Zealand sailors here that are at the Olympics. We've got 6 teams in the various fleets, so we're going to start off quickly with the Finn class, and it's been well publicised battle in the New Zealand team between Josh Jr. and Andy Maloney for the Finn spot, which was taken out by Josh Jr., the 2019 Finn Gold Cup World Champion. He's obviously going in as you know, one of the favourites in this fleet. You've got Giles Scott from GBR. Keeping in mind that the British have won every single gold medal since 2000, dating back
amazing.
to Ian Percy, obviously Ben Ainsley winning multiple ones, Giles winning in Rio. You know, he's going to be a tough one to beat.
He is, but Josh has the current Gold Cup Finn World Champion on his coach boat.
Yes.
And Andy.
Yeah, incredible, isn't it? And of course there's others to look out for. We've got the Hungarian sailor Berisic, you've got Nick Heine from the Dutch, the Spanish Cardona, who just got second at the Gold Cup, so it's going to be a pretty stacked fleet.
It is, and just looking at the weather and when they're racing, it's a really open fleet this time round.
Yeah. Now, the laser fleet, Sam Meach from New Zealand, again, and I guess you'd almost call him Mr. Consistency, has been really solid through his whole career. The bronze medalist from Rio, again, another one in with a great shot. But you could go down this fleet 10 more deep to see who could really win medals.
Yeah, it's, being a one design class, so many good sailors there, this is a really hard one to pick.
Yeah, I think when you look back at it, you know, look through the fleet, you know, the Aussie Matt Wern has got to be one of the solid ones. There's multiple times in the top 3 at the Worlds. You got Philip Buell from Germany, the current world champion.
Yep.
You can never write off the English. You've got the Croatian.
Yeah, definitely.
And then
the Cypriot.
And the Cypriot, of course. Yes, Konditas is always there. And then you've got to talk about, you know, you'd almost say the GOAT of laser sailing.
Yeah, Robert Scheidt.
You know, 48 years old.
Amazing.
You know, I did my first Laser Worlds at the same time as his first Laser Worlds here in Auckland at Takapuna in 1993, and he's still going at these Olympics. It's incredible, and you wouldn't rule him out.
No, he's actually earlier this year in Villamora, he finished within the top 3. He's won two medals this year in regattas and build-up regattas.
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing.
So what have we got in the double-handed fleets?
Double-handed fleets, well, we've all got to speak about the 49er. Red hot favourites is Pete and Blair. Obviously, they've had a big year already with defending the America's Cup, and also they've started off their Sail GP team with the New Zealand Sail GP team. They're obviously the red hot favourites going in, multiple world champions, just really professional, distinguished sailors. But
who's going to be their main competition?
Yeah, they're not going to have it all their way. We've got obviously the German guys who finished second at the Worlds and third at the Worlds lately, and also their training partners, the Spanish. The Spanish have been going really fast lately.
It'll be a good one to watch.
It will be a good one to watch, and always, as Pete and Blair say, they love the pressure, so let's see how they handle it. And
what about your class, Brownie, what you competed in the Olympics in, the 470 men?
Yep, many moons ago, 470 men, many kilos ago as well. So with that, there's been a big change in the last 5 years with the rules, with the pumping rules. Now you can pump up wind, you can pump downwind, and all that. And the young Spanish guys, Jordi and Nico, have been world leading with that. Many videos online, even making the 470 look cool, which is quite amazing. And obviously the Swedes.
That's coming from an X470.
Exactly, right. And then the Swedes have been really going well in the last 3 or 4 worlds. But again, we've had a year and a half off from COVID, and you can never write off the Aussies. Matt Belcher, the most famous 470 sailor there has ever been, with Will Ryan. They must be there. But you can't discount Dan and Paul. Dan and Paul have just won the last big regatta leading into this, the European champs, and a borrowed boat. They've got a brand new boat over there. They'll be looking good.
So that's Paul Snow-Hansen and Dan Wilcox. And he's obviously got comes from a pretty strong 470 pedigree with his father Hamish, who's actually there coaching Pete and Blair.
Exactly.
470 world champion.
Yeah, family affair. And then we have the FX. What do you know about the FX, Cam?
We've got Alex Maloney and Molly Meach, of course, the silver medalist from Rio. This is going to be such a tough one to pick because of the COVID situation and the lack of racing that we've had over the last couple of years. It goes in there almost with an open slate. So I know from a few of the contacts on the ground, I know the Kiwi girls have been going really solidly in training. You can never ride out the Brazilians, of course. Martine Grail, who won the gold medal in Rio, is going to be super solid. You've got the Danish, the Spanish, Ishaboyan, who won the gold medal in London in the match racing, 4th in Rio, has been going really, really well. Again, I think this is going to be a really, really open one.
It is, and when you say 4th in Rio, they were all tied on points going into the medal race.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. And then already, I think she's won an Olympic medal in my own mind, is Erica Dawson and Micah Wilkinson in the Nacra. 5 weeks ago, Erica fell off the Nacra. Her leg got hit by the rudder and she broke her leg. Within 3 weeks, she is back sailing. She's got another few days to go, getting stronger and stronger, but in my mind, to even make the start line for those two, that is totally amazing. Again, the Nacra class, that's going to be a really interesting and very open class. After the Nacra was introduced in 2016, and now it is foiling. Back then it wasn't, but we have many great sailors. We had Santi Lange, who was the flag bearer last night for the Argentinian team, current gold medalist, looking really good. The Italian pairing, who've won a couple of worlds and have been really strong, looking good. Can't forget the Australians or the current world champions, the GBR team. That's going to be a really interesting class, and you can never write off the little chargers and Erica and Micah either, with a gold and silver medalist coaching them and Joel Lee.
I think when you look back at past Olympics, you could almost, when you went back 2-3 years pre-Olympics, the top few teams at the Worlds leading into that generally were the ones winning medals at the Olympics. If you go back through the history, my feeling is for this Olympics, Brownie, because of the COVID situation, the lack of full-on racing in the last 2 years, we could see quite a big mix-up in this event. Would you agree?
I agree, and you always see, just with the pressure of the games, that you may get 1 or 2 bolters in the last few Olympics. This time there could be many bolters come through. What I mean by bolters is not so favoured teams going out there and performing really, really well.
Okay, and Brownie, we've got some other Kiwi connections in amongst the fleet.
Yeah, so in the RSX we've got one of the probably the, how would you put it, the coolest mullets in the world when he was competing, and Aaron McIntosh coaching the Dutch team. He's been coaching them for the last 3 quads, won 2 gold medals already with Dorian, and now he's got Kieran Badelow there, who's got an equally cool haircut with a big bright blue arrow facing forwards as the windbender. You can't rule him out. He's the other hot favourite in this Olympic fleet, so that's going to be a really interesting thing to watch as well.
So looking forward to the weather now. Of course, I think most of the build-up for these games, people have been focusing on relatively light to moderate breeze onshore with pretty big waves coming into the bay there. But looking ahead to this forecast, we've got a bit different for the first few days, especially for the laser guys.
Yeah, we do. You know, you always hear at regattas, it's never normally like this. We've got a typhoon coming through. On our PredictWind modelling, we've got a big typhoon just to the south of Enoshima, and it looks like it's going to be offshore and maybe even some rain for the first day or 2.
Yeah, offshore, 15 to 20 knots possibly, a nice breeze, and then a little later on down the track, swinging back more to the standard southwest, but then there's another typhoon possibly going to affect the games later on the contest as well.
Yeah, and it just depends on the way that the typhoons track, and after the offshore, when it does go back onshore, it's gradient breeze and it's a windy onshore, meaning big waves, big breeze, awesome sailing, awesome to watch.
Okay everybody, so we are really looking forward to bringing you the rest of the coverage of this Olympic Games, giving you a bit of a rundown each day of how the team has gone in the previous day's racing. Remember, please support our sponsors, B&G and PredictWind. Without them, we couldn't make this happen. Cheers everybody.
Cheers guys.